So it's a big game tonight between the Barrie Colts and the Oshawa Generals. For Colt fans, it'll be their first look at Connor Punnett in a different colored uniform. He was, of course, traded at the overager trade deadline to the Oshawa Generals for Thomas Stewart. So those two team players being able to face their former teams for the very first time. So it should be fascinating to see how this game plays out. I caught a bit of the Oshawa-Erie game last night, and Connor Punnett threw quite the open ice hit. So Punnett, clean hits, that's what he's known for, that physical play, and I think Oshawa fans right now loving what they're getting from Connor Punnett on the blue line. So it's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out, but also wanted to touch on a few news items because it's been a pretty busy weekend. First of all, the London Knights winning streak came to an end last night. It was the Peterborough Petes, out of all teams, winning in a shootout 3-2 final, and of course that ends the London Knights' 14-game winning streak. They were unreal during that run. Some controversy in the series against the Kitchener Rangers, but outside of that, they were getting the wins when it mattered most, and it came down to Easton Rye, the Peterborough native, in net. He was solid, earning his first career OHL win. So the Peterborough Petes also with that victory, snapping their 9-game losing streak. So quite the win there for the Peterborough Petes on the road at Budweiser Gardens. And because of that win, now Peterborough 2 points up on Barrie for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference standings. So the Colts needing a win here tonight against Oshawa to keep pace with the Peterborough Petes. However, the Colts, they do have 3 games in hand, and Peterborough, they're in Windsor tonight to battle the Spitfires. Now, another item that's been discussed a lot around the Ontario Hockey League is what's going on with the Mississauga Steelheads. I did a video talking about the trademark on the logo that has been appearing online that says Brampton instead of Mississauga for the Steelheads. Well, the latest item now is that the city of Mississauga and the Steelheads Hockey Club far apart on negotiations when it comes to the lease agreement at the Paramount Fine Food Center. So that is something to watch. Obviously, the Steelheads lease expires at the end of the season. For the last few years, they've been signing 1-year lease agreements and just seeing how it all plays out, because attendance has been a huge factor with Mississauga. Once again, they are the lowest in average attendance. I know they had a couple of school day games which boosted their average attendance to over 2,000. So it's quite the sticky situation. And we've also heard that the mayor of Brampton, Patrick Brown, has said in the past, after the Brampton Beast left the city of Brampton, that he wanted to bring hockey back to the CAA Center. That could be either the American Hockey League or the Ontario Hockey League, and it seems as though the OHL is the target. So it appears as though Mississauga is on the verge of moving to Brampton. We're still waiting for official word on that, but now the city of Mississauga itself talking openly about the negotiations, saying they're far apart right now. So not a good sign if you're a fan of the Mississauga Steelheads. You might soon be calling them the Brampton Steelheads as early as September. Now, the other news item that came out yesterday was posted on X that the CHL might be lifting the ban on Russian and Belarusian athletes. Of course, with the situation going on in Ukraine, the Canadian Hockey League announced that it would be banning all Russian and Belarusian athletes from being in the import draft. It sounds like there's a chance that that ban may be lifted for the 2024 import draft. So keep an eye on that, because we haven't had Russian or Belarusian athletes over the last 2 years since the events that took place in Ukraine. Nothing has been announced yet from the Canadian Hockey League. We just have to wait for that. But keep an eye on that news front. We could be having more players added to the import draft starting as early as this spring. So those are the news items right now. That's the latest that I have on the situations. Of course, I'll be calling the game here tonight between the Barrie Colts and the Oshawa Generals. I'll have a video after the game doing a recap as to how this all transpired, and it should be a fun one because it's kind of got that desperation mode feeling for the Barrie Colts. They need the points to keep pace with Peterborough, especially after they beat the first place London Knights last night on the road. So let me know in the comments section down below your thoughts on the situation involving the Mississauga Steelheads. Do you agree? Should we be lifting the ban on players from Russia and Belarus? And maybe your thoughts on the game tonight between the Barrie Colts and the Oshawa Generals. We'd love to see the comments. Remember to hit like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.